Hello, everybody, and welcome to Go Get That Rose, a Bachelor Nation podcast. And we had a long two-night, 2-hour each night, actually, season finale, which as a noob, I was not familiar with it being 2 nights. I don't know if that's a normal thing, but I was watching Monday night, and I'm like, man, they are not going to have time to do the final rose. What's going on here? I'm looking at the TV Guide channel, or TV Guide online, see what's going on. Maybe it ends after this, and then they pop it on me. Tuesday night is the actual finale, and it killed me. All night, all day yesterday, it killed me. But here we are, and I'm filling in for Sara once again. She will be back next week. She's still doing some camp counseling for the old kiddos out there. So, lucky them, and sorry for you guys, but she will be back very, very soon. We'll have her back next week. So, I am J Wade in the meantime, and I'm the co-host here, filling in, and we will go through what happened, and I will insert a few of my personal opinions in between the happenings. But what we did was we started off going back to Greece. We were in Crete still, and it was Tyler, Peter, and Jed left at a rose ceremony. And I'll tell you what, they all three looked like they did not want to be the last ones picked for dodgeball. That was the only visual I had in my mind, was them in the little short shorts, uniform type shorts and whatnot from the old days in gym class. And just standing there not wanting to be picked last. Just please don't pick me last. And Jed got the first rose, and I was like, I wrote in my notes here, WTF. How this guy had made it this far, I don't know. But then again, like Sara and I have discussed before, we know things that came out after they filmed, so for us viewers, it's a lot different when we watch this. You know, Hannah, in the moment, she didn't know what was going on with Jed, and we will get into that later, trust me. So, Jed gets the first rose, and obviously he's happy. Then it's down to Tyler and Peter, and Peter got the rose, which broke my heart. It really did. Peter's a nice guy. He seems like a really sweet guy. I don't really know that if she had ended up picking him ultimately, whether or not he would be right, just because he seems like, Sara has said, like a puppy dog. He seems like he's still trying to figure out exactly who he is and exactly what he's looking for, and not quite ready for that ultimate commitment, perhaps. I could be wrong. I don't know. I like Peter a lot. But she was upset, which is good, because I've not seen any past seasons, but it would be terrible if it was a heartless kind of, you know, I didn't pick you, you're not it, see you later, hit the road. But she was really upset, and he walked her out, and they sat and talked, and they cried, and she tried to explain, and it was nice. He took it like a champ. He really did. And they come back, and they go live in the studio with Peter, and obviously he was emotional, but I mean, hey man, he took it well. And his mom was tore up, and that's understandable too. Being a mother, that's gotta be hard, seeing your boy or girl, but just seeing your child that upset. And then he said that he'd fallen in love with her during the fireworks in Latvia. That was a nice moment. I can understand that. That would be pretty cool. I don't know. That would be pretty cool. I'm trying not to get all too mushy here and let out the chick feelings inside of me, but that would be pretty cool to be in that moment, the water, the fireworks. That would be great. And she said nothing was wrong with him when she came out, and she looked great, by the way, but she did come out, and she had said that nothing was wrong with him, and she truly thought he'd meet her family, and that she was falling in love with him, but she was also falling for 2 other guys, and that I don't understand. I've said it before, I just don't get it. Love is love, and I don't understand how you can feel it for more than one person. It just makes no sense to me at all. But she also said that she was scared, and she felt that he was scared to love her, and she wished that she had known a little sooner how he felt. I don't know. I can kind of understand that, but at the same time, I don't know. All of this stuff just is beyond me. It's all just a hot mess. It's crazy. I don't understand the loose playing with, what am I trying to say here? I don't understand playing with your emotions so loosely, just so recklessly. I don't get it, but hey, whatever. And I had made a note to myself here in my notes that everything she's saying at this point, from my perspective and past experience, was insulting and painful to hear after being rejected. I mean, I can understand her wanting to spare his feelings and try to make him feel better, but let's be real here. In moments like that, when you're rejected, you don't want to hear how great you are. You don't want to hear how much she was falling for you. You don't want to hear all that crap because it didn't happen. And that's the bottom line. And that's just how I feel. I don't know. But she did reveal that it was not 2 times. They had sex 4 times in that windmill. Go Hannah. And the audience just absolutely blew up after that. That was great. And both of their faces turned red. That's for damn sure. Then we get to the portion where they go to meet her family in Greece. So I made a note here too that she had said that Jed has been a stable guy. And I'm just like, really? Were you not there, Hannah, at the little family gathering in Greece that y'all crashed? And he pulls you aside, starts flipping out about Luke. Then even later on starts flipping out about, it's just, wow. I don't know. Okay. But they meet Tyler first, and her mom talked to Tyler and gave him a scenario about, will you be open with her if you're upset about things and there's issues, rather than holding them in. And he said yes, which is not only the right answer as far as when you're talking to the girl's parents, but it is the right answer. You just got to follow through on it. But that is the right answer. And this whole time I did notice that he was looking in their eyes, her parents' eyes. He was looking them in the eye. And that means a lot. It really does, especially these days. That really does mean a lot. And then he talked to her dad. And her dad asked about the fantasy suite. Because Hannah, before he showed up there, had told her parents about the fantasy suite and how he was the one who brought it up as far as, I'm not here for sex. That can come later. This whole experience is about getting to know each other and whatnot. And so her dad asked him about that, and he explained how he feels about her and how for him, that wasn't what the fantasy suite was for. And they really liked him. They really liked him a lot. Both of them did. And Hannah tells Tyler that she's falling in love with him. And so obviously they're both on cloud 9. And I'm like, okay, let's just end it now. Don't even bring Jed out. Can I, as a fan, a newbie fan, make an executive decision? No more Tyler. Sorry, Hannah. I'm picking for you. But, then they met Jed. And Tyler was dressed much better than Jed. I don't know. I would love to talk to someone at the show and find out if they have a wardrobe department that has complete dictatorship over what the people wear, or if they have a wardrobe department that just supplies choices and advice, but ultimately Hannah and the guys get to pick their clothes in the end. Because if it's that they get to pick their clothes in the end, Jed got no style. I'll tell you that. I mean, maybe in some whacked out world or something he has style, but no. So Tyler was dressed way better than Jed, and that has to make an impression, especially considering the rest of the time that he met her family, her mom and dad. He did not make an impression. Starts off bad because he starts talking about how music is his chosen path, and that's not something that parents want to hear. They want to hear that committing to their daughter is your chosen path. You know what I mean? That's what I'd want to hear as a father. I'm not a father, but if I were, that's what I'd want to hear. And her dad asks him what his goals are, and he said music. And then it just was all about music with her family. They were pressing him about how far he's gone in his career, and is that how he plans on supporting her, and which I can completely understand. Okay, it is a little bit different, especially in Southern America, more conservative in rural areas, and especially in Christian households. The man is seen as the sole, not the sole, but the main provider, which I can agree with. I feel that way too. I feel that there is no right or wrong, but I feel that is the better way, the proper way. I don't know how to explain it, but I completely understand where they're coming from, because he doesn't have a music career. He thinks that he does, but he doesn't. He's written a jingle for a dog food company. And I'm not, dude, that's more than I've done. I play a little guitar. I sing some stuff. That's more than I've done. But that's what you're going to list as an accomplishment on your resume for Hannah's dad? Are you serious? And you wonder why they don't like you? And you wonder why they look at you cockeyed, like, how are you going to support our daughter? And I made a note here too that they don't like him much, and he knows it. You know, it's not one of those where they don't like him much, but he's just so oblivious to it, dude. He knows they don't like him, and he was not maintaining eye contact. None of that stuff that Tyler was. And they told Hannah too. Her mom told her that she's concerned about Jed's future, and that Tyler's a real man, which I agree with. And her dad says that Jed beat around the bush, whereas Jed was direct, or Tyler rather was direct. And her dad's not pleased with that, and I wouldn't be pleased with that either. And that was exactly true. Jed beat around the bush. He did not maintain eye contact. He felt very uncomfortable. He looked like he wasn't even sure if any of this was what he wanted. Then again, I'm not him, so I don't know what was going through the guy's mind. But she sounded like she's making excuses for him and saying that she can support the family too when she's talking to her dad about it. And yes, that's true, but she's just in that place where she's involved. It's always easier for a third-party person to get that outside view looking in and kind of see what's going on, but she's involved. She's in the situation. She can't really see what they're seeing and what the rest of us are seeing. And he doesn't want her to settle. And that's as honest as he can be about Jed. That's exactly what he said. He doesn't want her to settle, and that's as honest as he can be about Jed. And that speaks volumes. So Hannah and Jed both know her parents don't like him, and Jed just wants to hear about how she feels about Tyler. And he looked sorry when he asked, because she told him. They're talking afterwards, meeting her parents, and yeah, he asked for it, and he did the same with Luke, too. He did the same thing with Luke. I don't know. Dude just is odd, I think. Tyler's so much more smooth. It was all about he and Hannah. He didn't care about anybody else. And she told him, and no, she said to the camera, she's like, she's obviously confused, and she says, F me, this is why you don't date two people at the same time. Well, duh. And I gotta say this. I'm not saying that anyone is, I'm just gonna say the word. I'm not saying that anyone is slutty or anything like it. Dude, I don't care about what men or women do, who they do it with, how many times they do it, how they do it. I don't care. None of that in any way affects me, and I could not care less. Okay? But that statement, F me, this is why you don't date two people at the same time. If this weren't a show and someone was dating two people at the same time, even if it was a guy, the guy would be a dog and the girl would be a slut. But because it's a show and it's a dating show, It's acceptable, and it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. But I also made a note here that if you think you love more than one person, you don't love any of them. To me, love is not something that, well, I mean, okay, you got the levels of love and in love. I'll just roll with that. We'll do the in love bit, because I love lots of people. I love guys. I love my guy friends. I love my female friends, but not in a relationship type way. But if you think you love more than one, like you're in love with more than one person, or you don't know, then yeah, you're not in love with any of them. That's not how being in love goes. It don't work that way. I don't care how you try to justify it or whatever. I'm sorry, it don't work that way. So then we get to the final single dates. And the first one is with Tyler, and they went horseback riding again, and it was 1,000,000 times better. Just 100,000 times better. It actually looked really enjoyable. I love riding horses, but when I saw them ride the horses the first time, watching him ride the horse did not sound enjoyable to me. This it looked enjoyable rather, and they had a picnic, really great view out in the distance. And they talked about her family and how much they liked him. And she said she could totally see a future with Tyler. And then they go back to Tyler's place that night. And Tyler says that he's cheesing out. And he was. I mean, like, cheese. He was cheesing out. And it was just cool to see just that big cheesy grin on his face, And they ended up going to his room. How long they were there and what happened, who knows, but they laid down, made out, all that stuff, as they have many, many times before, because as Hannah has said repeatedly, she is extremely physically attracted to Tyler. If I were a female, I would agree. As a male, I will say that he's a handsome man. And he is. He's a good-looking guy, man. Jed, on the other hand, we get to our date with Jed. I dread talking about Jed. I really do. I'm so glad that Luke is no longer in the conversation, but now I gotta talk about Jed, So they go on their date and they go out on a boat and she's getting seasick, but she wasn't seasick with Tyler in Florida when they were on the boat. So I noticed that in the moment, and I made a little side note here. Is that a metaphor? Is this God or whatever trying to tell her that this guy is not the guy for you? I was hoping so, and we found out later on. But they're still in their date, and he starts to guilt her. I felt that he started to guilt her about there being another guy, meaning Tyler. And he just whined about how her dad didn't believe him and blah, blah, wah, wah. I mean, dude, call the wambulance. Wah, wah, wah. Dude, call the wambulance. And on a side note, you're a musician. You should know Justin Timberlake already wrote the song Cry Me a River, dude. So just oh my gosh. I'm sitting here right now, looking out my window, kinda. It's a beautiful day. And I'm dumbfounded at this guy. I'm dumbfounded. Just, if you watch this, I don't know. I have so many emotions about this guy. A lot because of all the crap that he pulled with the reports of girlfriend before he went there and all that. But just as we build up and keep getting to the end, this guy just gets under my skin. I can't stand it. But then they go back to Jed's place and they're both feeling anxious. You can tell they both look really uncomfortable. And she was, he's sure they were feeling. So they go back to Jed's place and they're both feeling anxious and uncomfortable. And he's sure about wanting to be with her, but she doesn't look sure. She looks extremely not sure. And in my mind, that means that he is not the one, because she looks sure and confident when she's with Tyler. I don't sense any questioning on her part when she's with Tyler. And they get talking about the career thing, and she said that someone will have to sacrifice their wants for the other person, and his reply was not very convincing, but he tried hard. I mean, you could tell and look in his eyes when she said that. He's like, dude, I have a music career, and that's what I want to do, regardless of everything else. But they didn't go to his room, which spoke volumes. To me, I'm like, dude, Tyler is in like Flynn. You know what I'm saying? Just, yeah, Tyler's it. But they didn't go to his room, and she keeps saying she's confused. And like I said, though, just a second ago, she doesn't look confused to me. She looks like she's definitely questioning Jed, and to me, that should not cause confusion. Like, if Jed were the only guy that she were dating, and she were questioning Jed, then yes, that would be confusing. But if you got two guys, one of them you're questioning, the other one you're not, dude, there is your clear winner. Ding, ding, ding. It's Tyler. But, you know, one, all of this has already been filmed, and two, Hannah can't hear me when I'm screaming at the TV. So, there we are. And here we are at the final rose ceremony. We're about to find out. We're about to find out. So, it starts with Hannah just talking a little bit to the camera about how Tyler would do anything to make her happy in life, and that she and Jed have fun with each other, and she feels that he's been as honest with her as she's been with him. First and foremost, one guy you're saying you know would do anything to make you happy in life, and the other guy you have fun with. There's another thing that greatly, you know, Tyler making her happy in life greatly outweighs having fun with someone, in my mind. And as far as him being honest, well, we shall see. But she gets out of the car, and she's on her way up to meet the guys, but she stopped. She had the driver stop, and she got out of the car, I should say. And she's walking down the street. You can tell she's confused. I mean, which I still don't understand. She shouldn't be, but she is. Oh, bless her heart. And she has the infamous fall that we've been seeing on the clips. And she gets back up. She's got a little scrape on her elbow, but she's okay. She just stands there thinking, and just thinking, and thinking, and thinking. And thinking. And she finally arrives at the ceremony. Bless her heart, I feel bad for her. She seems like a really sweet girl. She finally arrives, and I'll just say I didn't care for her dress. I'm not a fashion expert to get into anything. It just didn't do nothing for me. I didn't care for it. But Jed was in the van on his way there holding the ring in one hand, and he had his guitar. Dude, oh, the frickin' guitar. I want to break that guitar over his head. And not in a way, not to do harm to him, but just, I can't stand it. But anyway, Jed's in the van with his guitar, but Tyler arrived first. And he said that he wants her more than anything that he's wanted in life. Now, he says this when he's in the van on the way. So, he gets up there, and it hit me for a second. I was like, wait a minute. If they're starting with Tyler, then doesn't that mean that she picks Jed? Because why would they start with the person she picked first? But I've never seen the show before. So maybe they mix it up sometimes. I don't know. But in my mind, I'm like, there's no way she's picking Jed. So Tyler gets into his speech of, from the moment I met you, and then he's going in, she stops him. And I'm like, oh no. And he knows. And she starts crying, and I'm just like, dude, no. And she's like, I'm lucky to be loved by you. Again, that's insulting and hurtful. The entire speech that she gave him was insulting and hurtful. I'm sure that she wasn't intending it that way, and I know that when people do that stuff, they don't intend it that way. We all as human beings just want to spare people's feelings. We don't want to hurt people. Not most of us, at least. So I understand where she's coming from, but in that situation, all that, we don't want to hear how great we are and how much you appreciate us loving you. You know, I had a girl tell me once, and I hadn't instigated anything as far as I hadn't brought up anything as far as a relationship or she and I together in any way. We're just standing on my balcony, 2:30 in the morning, drunk as hell, and she just out of nowhere says, "You'd be the perfect man if you were somebody else." What the hell? What the hell? And that's what I think of when I hear all these, you know, "I'm lucky to be loved by you. You're such a great guy. I was feeling it." But just say, "I'm sorry. You're not the one." If the guy has questions, let him ask you questions and then answer them. That's how I feel about it. But he took it like a champ, and he wished she and Jed all the success in the world. So Jed shows up next, and he's looking silly as usual, and he's carrying his guitar like a freaking cheese bag. And she looks like she cannot contain herself. She's gonna freaking explode. I thought she was gonna explode. And I'll be honest, I zoned out on his speech of lies. But then he started to sing his song and I hit mute. I didn't really hit mute. But it was disturbing to hear him singing in that moment, especially given the real reason he went there. So much about this guy rubs me wrong. I feel so bad for Hannah at this point. The last 2 or 3 weeks, you know. She just she's not seeing it like we outsiders are. And I made a note here, why do girls pick pretty boy douchebags? I don't know. It's beyond me, but, I mean, hey, dude, speaking as one, fat guys need love too. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, they did a little cut then after that, because Jed did get down on his knee, and he did propose. And she said yes. And Jed is the one who went and got that rose. Okay? So, Jed did it. He was the last man standing. But before they go to the live event back in the studio, they have a since that day in Greece kind of thing. Because it turns out the next day after they got engaged, he told Hannah that he was hanging out. You can't see me, but I'm doing the quotation marks. Hanging out with a girl before the show. Okay? Right there, just using those words, hanging out, is already extremely suspicious. In my mind, with my 40 years experience on this earth, dude, yeah. So then the news of People magazine about what we'd heard weeks ago starts to come out, and she heard about that. And Jed goes to meet her. Now this is in between the filming in Crete and the live event that ended up happening last night. So he goes to meet Hannah, and he says that he was dating around and he didn't think it was serious. And about this specific girl, he said that they went on a trip to a cabin in Gatlinburg. Then he met her parents. Then she met his parents. I'm sorry. Then she met his parents. But they weren't dating, really? Okay, and she called him on all this. The Gatlinburg, all this. And especially the meeting his parents. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't see any excuses for this guy that could justify or explain all of this away. But he said that he was still hooking up with other girls, and that he got a trip to the Bahamas from this specific girl's mom and dad. Then, and it was all confusing. Then was asked to do the show, or was asked to do the show before the Bahamas. Jed's a confusing cat. I've said it before. He doesn't know how to speak. He's not a very good social speaker. And he admits that he was there for the music, and that he told the other girl that he loved her before he left for the show, and that he slept with her the night before he left. And, oh man, at one point in this, Hannah slides the ring almost all the way off of her finger, then slides it back. The audience erupted. It was great. But she's telling him how she feels used, and that he gets a bit defensive in tone then. He did. I mean, he did that stupid thing where it's like, well, tell me what I can do. Tell me what I can do. You know, what can I do? And it's like, dude, you're not handling this the right way at all. You need to shut up and listen and choose your words very, very carefully. And he insisted that he didn't have a girlfriend and that he didn't tell Hannah the truth about all of this because he was afraid she'd walk away from him. Dude, just be honest. It's not that hard. I mean, I know in today's day and age, dude, it is hard. Honesty's a rare thing. Dude, just be honest. You're wanting to marry this woman. Tell her the truth, bro. It's unbelievable. And you know what? If you would have been honest the whole freaking time from the start, there is still a possibility she would have still picked you. You know? But she's pissed and she calls him selfish. And she says that her decisions and her choices were tainted. And she also calls out how she heard that when he got home, he told his friends that he won. And that goes back to the whole Sara and I talking about Luke P. And was it just a contest for him? How many of these guys is it a contest for? You know? But just, that's hurtful too. It has to be. To tell your friends, I won, dude. But she's mad and she's just mad. And that was the end of that. Until they go to the live studio. And Hannah came out first to talk to Chris. And she found out about the article before it came out and asked him about it. And he had lightened it up. Like, tried to make light of it. It wasn't as big of a deal as it was. It wasn't what it seemed. Then she saw the article. She said that the last few weeks have been hell, and she's not with Jed anymore. She confirmed that she is not with him anymore, broke off the engagement. Then Jed comes out for the first time they've seen each other since they broke up via phone. And was that a texting breakup or a phone call breakup, I wonder? And he's not good at speaking, I say again, because it's just blah, blah, blah. It's like from Peanuts, wah, 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 wah. So her reply is that it's so messed up and sad what happened, and that she appreciates his apology, but hopes that he'll learn from it and grow to be the man that she knows he can be for the future. And he says he still loves Hannah and never expected to find love there. Well, then why go? That's what the show is for. If you never expect to become a musician, why are you going to go on America's Got Talent? Right? Okay, if you never expect to become a magician, magic, why are you going to go on Penn and Teller Fool Us? It makes zero sense to me. But he did say, or she did say, that her feelings have definitely changed and it's over for them. And she's proud of the woman she's grown into and wants a man but doesn't need a man. So good for her that on this journey she's discovered that she doesn't need a man in her life, that she's realized that she is a strong woman on her own. But the man would complement her life and would help her out. And that's great. That's really good that she come to that realization. And to wrap up the show, the finale, Tyler came out. It's definitely time to talk to Tyler. It was Tyler's time to shine now. And she says her feelings for him haven't totally changed before he came out. And that got the crowd fired up. That got me fired up. I'm like, oh, we about to see something here? I was thinking maybe they'd started dating again, but I don't know. But he came out and he was looking forward to seeing her again. And he said he loved watching how strong she is and how she had grown and handled herself throughout the entire show. And he says it's been tough watching her go through what she has with Jed. And that would be tough. Not only you feeling bad for her, but for yourself. I mean, you were the number 2 guy. I'm sure he was absolutely positive that he was going to be the man, but it just didn't work out for him. And then to see the man that she did choose ended up just dogging her like he did, that's got to be rough. And I can speak from past experience. That is rough in situations like that. But he talked about going from 0 to hero, then back to 0 on top of the mountain. How he just was feeling so positive, so great about it. And he had been nervous, but then just felt so confident, and then boom, shot down, dude. Shot through the heart. Oh, I feel so bad for Tyler. At this point, I've forgotten about Peter, to be honest. I forgot about the puppet dog, and I'm just like feeling bad for Tyler. But Hannah ends up telling him that she's confident in who she is, and she asked Tyler if he wants to go out on a date, and he said yes. And that was great. That was great to see that they're gonna try to reconnect again. And she had said that they just need to be normal people outside of the show, and they said they need to take it slow, and just, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for how it ended. I feel bad for Hannah because of how Jed treated her and how everything worked out there, and Luke P, and you gotta feel bad for her that she went through all that. But man, girl is tough. Girl is tough, dude. And yeah, even though Jed went and got that rose, looks like Tyler is the one who ended up with Hannah. I mean, who knows? This was just last night when they agreed to go on a date, get some drinks. So good for Tyler. Good luck to him. Trailer for Bachelor in Paradise dropped, and again, it looks absolutely insane. I can't wait. This is my first Bachelorette. This is going to be my first Bachelor in Paradise. I don't know what to expect, but I can't wait. I just can't wait. And like I said, Sarah will be back with us next week. I'm J Wade, and you can follow me on Twitter at JWade1134. That is the letter J, WADE 1134. Give me a follow. It's not just stuff about Bachelor that I text sometimes about. I'm a goofy guy, and I got goofy thoughts. I'm also, not just me, but Sarah is also on a podcast, another podcast with me called Afterlife, and you can find this show, Go Get That Rose, as well as Afterlife and others, at the Merc with a Movie blog feed on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Play. And Go Get That Rose, we have our episodes up on YouTube on the Merc with a Movie blog channel. If YouTube's your jam, you hear us here, but you want to listen to us on YouTube, you can do that. Please give us likes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us comments, give us feedback. We want to be more engaged with the Bachelor Nation. We really enjoy doing this show. Can't wait for Bachelor in Paradise, and we will be back next week to talk about the season premiere, I should say, of series premiere for me, but season premiere of Bachelor in Paradise. Thank you guys again, and have a wonderful day.